There's a look inside Ford Field here in down. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short. The loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, week 1. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. A play fake to Montgomery, now Foles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Foles. And his throw here is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Foles. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Lions will take over.
And they're on 34-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 34. And now the first NFL carry for the former Georgia star, DeAndre Swift. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Roquan Smith, the Bears' leading tackler last season, makes the stop.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
First and goal from just inside the 5. Here's Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0.
Makes the score Lions 7, Bears nothing. Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Foles. He completes this into the hands of Miller. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Here's Foles. And Robinson with a big kick. Taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. This is the receiver turned running back, Cordero Patterson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
49-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a first and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a first and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
10 at their own 17-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously...
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown. Take that. Position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it, but it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs, and they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The 50-yard line.
Forced out to his left. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. From the shotgun is Trubisky to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there forcing the completion.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. They find some open field here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, there's zero doubt that the Detroit Lions like Kerryon Johnson's ability, but he's been dinged up a little bit in his first 2 years in the NFL, so they went out and used a day 2 pick this past year on DeAndre Swift, the rookie runner out of Georgia, hoping, I think, to pair them together and maybe send a message. But I think if Kerryon Johnson can stay on the field, he could be an awfully productive back in the NFL.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. To throw again. Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 23. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back to the running game with Swift. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
On the 19-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and they stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
1 yard.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. From 19 yards away. And this offense is running away with this one.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Lions 35. Bears 3. Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
5-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, They need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now Trubisky on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. This one left side caught by Patterson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
It's caught at the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cordero Patterson, 50 yards. And the Bears cut into that lead. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he gets it to go to make this a 35-10 score now.
The score, Lions 35, Bears 10. Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded in the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Stafford going to give it to Swift. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. The final shot before the break, Stafford. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Stafford. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 22 yards.
Terrific catch and a big chunk of yardage gained by Kenny Golladay, and that's exactly what he does. That's why he's so dangerous downfield. Highest average yards per reception among NFC receivers in 2019 to over 18 yards per catch. He has the length and really has a nose for the football, especially when they put the ball in the air and he goes up and gets it.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Running is Swift. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 29. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
In addition to his really good hands, Marvin Jones makes big plays downfield. Ended up missing the last month of the 2019 season. Still had 62 catches for nearly 800 yards. And even more importantly, 9 touchdown catches included in that number. When Marvin Jones goes downfield for a pass, oftentimes he finds his way into the end zone.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
The score, Lions 42, Bears 10. Matt Prater to kick off for Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Flushed out right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. On first down, Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
36-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because it's very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Darrell Patterson. It's a gain of a yard. And it's
on 3rd down. It's Patterson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And he's got Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career, and he didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to play with a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch there, and he wants to show flashes of that form that he exhibited early in his career with New Orleans and Seattle.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw, and it's caught. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes, the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity is something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. On second down now, Swift, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.